Trip. And before we go, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Trip. This is DWTT, or better known to my friends as Gary. Got a couple things I want to say, then I'll introduce you to the crew, the gang, the family, and we'll get going here. So, Arsenal is on its way back to the UK, back to London after a nice little stint over in the US. What is it, like three? Is it 3 games? Yep, 3 games, and they are back. Kind of mixed review in the first couple games, but the last one looked really well and went really well, I think, for the team. But the team's happy to be back, and as the title of the show says, the team is back. And do we actually have our starting 11 set already? Guess we'll find out about that, and we'll talk about that. That could be the 11 that starts against Sevilla. That could be the 11 that starts against Crystal Palace. We shall see. And I guess one thing before I introduce everyone, I would want to say a welcome to Kaylin Marquez. If you haven't seen, she is the goalkeeper that the women's team has just brought in. It means something special to me because, of course, guess where she went to university? Yes, she's a Florida Gator. I actually remember watching her play for the Gators on TV, of course, because I'm a lot older than she's a lot younger than I was when I was in college. So there you go. So, welcome to the squad. We'll see how she does. I guess she's probably be the future. She's pretty young, I think 24, 25. So she probably will be the future of Arsenal goalkeeping going forward. So welcome to the Gunners. All right. So let me go ahead and get started and introduce everyone. First up, we got my man, Matt. How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good.
Cool. I don't know what does that mean? Do you usually say something when you do it, or?
It's just peace, my friend.
All right. Next up we got Tony. How you doing?
So a little bit better than I've been the last few days, but can't complain too much. Besides, it's hot. 105 outside still.
Wow. Yeah, it's still it's in the 80s here, but 89, so not that chill. And last but not least, the man, I guess the guy that supposedly this is his channel. We're just here for the ride. Mr. Tom, how you doing?
Greetings, Gary, Matt, Tony, and everyone in the chat.
Definitely. Cool. And before we get going, I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat. We got Ben Ireland. This thing moved on me. Got Ben Ireland is greeting us all the way from the UK. Across the pond, welcomes. Got Anders has joined us. Welcome, Anders. Hello, Ben. Yeah.
He's in
friends
Sweden.
in the chat. And Des has joined us, the enforcer, for those who know him well. And I got some guy called Tony. He's always here.
Known Des a long time.
Guys, he's always here. Oh, good this. All right. So, anybody else? Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, BX Gunner is in the house, which means Tony has to figure out what he's doing with himself. Yeah. So I guess we'll find out what BX Gunner has in the, the thing. And there we go. All right. So the main host, Mr. Tom. Yeah, that's right. We are just along for the ride. But before we go, we'll just say one hello to Stephen. Welcome. And we'll get started. One thing I wanted to say is I'm sorry about the weekend show. For those who know, I put this show on a different account. Thus, all of my subscribers did not know the show was going on, at least through YouTube. Unless you checked your Twitter, and I think I might have put it on Instagram, you wouldn't have known. But I've corrected that, so that should never happen again. So if you want to see it, you'll see us on Saturday. We should be there. I remember talking to Mr. Tom about that, and he's like, "Don't worry about the people not showing up. but it was abnormally low for the show. But now I know why. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started.
Tom doesn't
First
care
things first.
how big the audience is, Gary.
What?
So Tom doesn't care how big the audience is. He'll talk to
No, but it
one
was
person
weird for me because I knew I put it out there, and there's usually the usual crew would show up. So you have some loyal subscribers that are always there. So I was a little surprised they weren't. But anyway, yeah. But that was my fault, and I did put a premiere on later on. So if you missed it, you can see it. But I will go ahead and get started here.
I did some of my best work on Saturday, Gary. I did my research.
I bet everybody missed it live. I'm sorry about that. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we'll talk about the game, and then we'll move into. I have some topics, but we'll see how we go. As this is the trip, I've got a plan. We'll see if that plan, if we need to go by it or if we're just going to go off on our own. So we check it out. All right. So Arsenal 4, Chelsea. What did Chelsea? Did they score? No, they did not score. For me, good game. Saw what I think is, like I said, our starting 11, at least as of today. Maybe things will change if there's in the transfer window or if players get a little healthy, which I'll be surprised that they'll be ready to go in 2 weeks based on how Arsenal physios work. So we shall see. So I enjoyed the game. Even a second half when we took players out, it looked like we still had an upper hand there. They played okay, not the way I would like them to play, but we'll take it for now. All right, so first we'll go to Matt. Tell me the game. I think you actually tweeted me something nice during the game, if I recall.
Well, it was a quality performance. I mean, that's y'all know how I am, man. Let's keep this in perspective, man. That was I got a new webcam too, so it's kind of trying to get used to it. The 4-0 man was great. Of course, anytime you beat Chelsea out like that, I don't know if anybody's seen the video. I'm actually trying to work on my channel now, so I uploaded a video. I don't know if anybody's seen my video, but I discussed 5 things in that game that stood out to me. One being the fact that, what worries me a lot about Gabriel. Gabriel is on fire, but what worries me is if this man goes down and we don't have adequate cover for him. It's going to be dark days if that happens. 2, somebody needs to sit Odegaard down all this week and have a seminar on shooting from outside the box. Because there were several times during that game he should have been taking shots. But, the one time he finally did it, he scored. Because I was just raising Cain, every time he received the ball in the box and would pass. I'm like, bro, Third thing, Granit Xhaka has to be sold. He has to be sold. Outside of 2 flashes of brilliance, which you get that from, you get that so often. And he offered nothing else. The other thing is that Saliba has to, you hear me? Has to start against Crystal Palace. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has come into this team, stepped in, and I see what I call silent defending. When I see a player, I had this one guy I coached that was a kid. And I remember this years ago. A guy named Steven. So if you ever watches this, he's probably going to smile. He's probably the best defender I ever had. You know why? Because he would defend. I wouldn't have to tell him what to do. I wouldn't have to say anything. He would just clean it up. That's what Saliba does. He cleans up the mess. Ben White needs to stay right over there where he's at. You let Saliba and you let Magalesh do their thing. And you just watch. Just watch and learn. Zinchenko coming down the flank. Coming in, passing, moving. It's a different feel over there. over the top, through the middle. Zinchenko looked like a player that knew what he was doing. It's been a while since we've had that. But with all saying that, I want people to caution this. This was preseason, 4-0. I want to see 4-0 against Crystal Palace. I want to see us take these teams that we should be taking to the woodshed, because this is what happened with us towards the end of the season. Remember, Gary? Nketiah scored 2 times against Chelsea. It was the flair is back. Get the champagne out. Break out the Cadillac. Let's go for a cruise down the street. And what happened? We went right over there to teams that we should have been beating, and we ended up flopping down the stretch. When the season starts, we've got to be on our A game. That same energy. I want that same energy that I saw coming out of the gate for every game. Because, see, that was something we talked about last year, was that we have a bad problem starting that game. We had a bad problem. So I don't know if there's something they worked on. I don't know if it was because it was Chelsea. This is why I said you have to kind of put this in perspective to where it is. Because, of course, you're going to get up for Chelsea. It's just like Barcelona and Real Madrid. They're going to get up for each other because that's just who they are. But when you get up for Crystal Palace, a team that basically ended our season, one of the teams that ended our season. So any team, Arteta should have a sheet of paper attached to the walls of the Emirates of every team that we played coming down the stretch that beat us or drew us. And they should be right there ready to go. You should need that. It should be revenge tour. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad we won the game. I'll take it, but we really need to address. I want y'all to understand this now. I want y'all to understand this. We really need to address this striker problem, because if he gets hurt, because they were talking about quad injury and all this stuff late Saturday night. If this man gets hurt, then the season rests on the feet of one Eddie Nketiah. And I want everybody to sit down and think about it. Take a sip. So some of y'all that's got your beverages at the house, you take a sip on that and you think about that. Eddie Nketiah will assume the role as the man with the plan.
And as you got us sitting here crying, I'm letting some other people talk as well.
That's just the reality of it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, now I'm crying. Real quick, I'm just going to go through the chats real quick, and then I'll let Tony have his say. Well, you can add some more notes. Sorry about that. We got a long intro, but that's cool. That is cool. And basically, I know you would have been there if you got the noticed. And Des, yeah, I appreciate you guys when you do show up on the weekend. I'm liking the Saturday show as much as I like this show, and I'm glad you're there. I guess Mr. Tom will talk about this. Mr. Davis and Chelsea finished second. I don't know based on what I saw, but we shall see. Mendy, what did look a little suspect.
I still think they'll sneak third.
Yeah, probably. But Chelsea did look like they were struggling, like they have always in the final third. So in the final third, they looked like it. Oh, okay. This is something on the side here. And what else we got here?
That is to do with the trivia.
Okay. Oh, these are all Leeds questions here, so I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I guess Mr. Tom will clue us in on that. Yeah. And Matt did go through 5 items, right? Gabriel, Rudiger, Saliba, Xhaka, and I think the last thing was Crystal Palace, I guess, coming up. And I guess it was Jesus.
I think Gary, I think that if this Tielemans deal is to go through, I think Xhaka's going to be the odd man out.
Yeah.
That's if it happens.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that hopefully if it's going to happen, it got to happen quick, because I need him to be playing with these guys ASAP. If he's going to come in. Zinchenko, yeah, we'll get into all of that stuff. I'll let all these guys talk, and I'll give you my thoughts. My thoughts. You guys talking probably more about stuff I don't know. Yeah, KT.
No, that's what we were talking about on Saturday.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. KT is going to be a challenge for him. I don't think there's any rush to get him back, which is bad for him. Yeah.
Tommy asked you.
Yeah, last season we had strikers. We didn't have scorers. We had people that were called strikers, but they didn't put the ball in the net. And of course, the Leeds fans are all about this Eddie guy. He looks all right, so we shall see. I don't think
Special
I
man.
missed anybody new, but I think. Oh, here we go. Craig has joined us. Oh, Patrick Schmidt.
Can
you know
I
that
ask
he went
there's
silent
a-
on him.
I
He went
just wish we
silent
get
on him.
those
There's a
Leeds
question on
fans
Chick.
that
Hey, Craig. All right. So next up, we'll let Tony have his say on the game, and then we'll go to Mr. Tom. Hit it.
a lot of mine's the same points of Messi and Jesus go into all the tackles. Halftime is should have went off. No point of him continuing. And you hear might be an inside. Don't want to hear that. Need to wrap him in bubble wrap. But the way he plays, it's dangerous. We don't win. We need one of those. Eddie's not good enough. You can use Mark third striker, but I don't think he's good enough. And Tom's Chris are not that as far as the back four. I like that. Just keep the back four as it is. Keeps Saliba the minutes he wants. Even though Marcel was Saliba's agent tonight, confirmed by Romano and a couple other people. Marseille's still trying to woo Saliba away, which might not be hard with starting time, Champions League. I liked what I seen. I liked what I seen from Zinchenko. Really liked White compared to Cedric. They could tell me who's back there, but I want to rush either one back. I'm happy. I mean, Ramsdale absolutely had no pressure. Didn't have to worry about because his form decreased so much second half of the season. Or why that was the first just a smoke screen that he's not as good. Tierney going out. I don't think the communication broke down. But we'll find out. That's kind of why I still would probably hold a winter window, see if anybody wants him then. After World Cup, I mean, shouting for him then. The game as a whole should have been 3-0. Offsides 4-0. But like mad in other games, still not enough taste for me. Playing that set team, whether it's Zinchenko coming up there when Tierney comes back, get that deal done. We seem to be fiddling around with it. We have other midfielders in mind. Let's just keep seeming like we're going for a win instead. Really think we need but all in all, not a bad preseason. Away kits, but I'd rather it be pure black. But other than that, that's about all I have to say about.
Cool. I don't know if it's me or if it's this thing. Your audio wasn't keeping up with your the audio isn't keeping up with the video on my side. I don't know if that's just me or not.
No, it's the same here.
All right. So do I sound like I'm coming in fine?
No, you're fine. I just heard
Yeah.
Tony. It was on Tony's.
Okay, so it's just Tony's on I don't know. Need to speed up I mean, maybe it's those gerbils that you got running your Wi-Fi or something like that. Because okay. I thought it was me. I don't thought it was the system that we're using,
Nope.
but I don't know if you got some other things running on your side, Tony. But shut down everything, I guess, for now, and we'll see if it picks up next. We'll just go through the chat real quick. I know there was some more talk. Yeah, Mr. Tom will be up next, so no worries. Oh, I don't know. Here we go. Oh, Mr. Tom gets to ask his question. He definitely will. He never.
No, I was going to ask Des a question about Patrick Schick.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll let you answer that. Yeah, we shouldn't get gas. I mean, if we're not going to get gas for wins, then what? I didn't enjoy I didn't enjoy the last preseason.
Don't do this to yourself, man. Don't do this to yourself, man.
No. What I didn't like about the last preseason is I didn't think we knew what was going to come. You know, none of that. We didn't have scoring. I didn't know much about the defense, but we definitely did not have scoring, and I'm also suspicious about that. With the introduction of Jesus, we got scoring now, so I'm going to look at that. I'm always about performances. Remember, we had that discussion, performances versus results, and I'm seeing performances that I can get with. All right, I'm down with those type of performances. The way we're playing, regardless of the team that you're playing, at least it shows. Look, if a team opens themselves up like that, we will take advantage of it. So I'll take that any day, and it will only get better each game we play.
I'll say one thing about that specific comment.
Yeah.
If Leeds beat Manchester United in a friendly, I'd buy the DVD.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think if any team wins 4-0, they should enjoy it, especially if their team looked good. If the other, you got to take it. I'll take it. It's a better way to come into the season.
Gary, it's about enjoying the win, but just don't. Like what I'm seeing people saying we are we're gonna steamroll everybody, and I saw somebody today called Pep called Arteta Baby Pep.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's just people have gone ballistic, and I was like, hey, let's bring it back, man. Let's bring it back. Decent win. That's over with now. You got Sevilla, I think, this weekend and next weekend. Oh, we're gonna really find out when Sevilla, because it's a different breed of football. So we'll see.
And they might be missing some of their players, right? I think they've got one player on his way to Chelsea. I think it is Kunde, I think his name. So they might be out a player or two. So we'll see how that affects them. And what do we got here? No, we'll see about that, because last season we had we didn't win any games, and we lost the first 3. So depending on how you look at it.
Well, don't forget, man, we beat either City or Liverpool in the Community Shield one year, and finished outside. I think that was the Emery year. Yeah. I can't remember. We finished outside of top 4. So I mean, it's like I said, I don't put too much stock in this. Put stock into that first game against Palace.
Yep. Well, you know what? But you want to see something. If they came out and they lost 4-0, you wouldn't have that same energy. Yeah, but you wouldn't. Yeah, but that's not what I want. So I don't want us to lose 4-0. I'm gonna take the win as something positive, right? And I'm gonna use that. Like, they can build on it, right? It's preseason, like you said. Teams aren't going 100%, but the last 2 Premier League teams we play, they've been leaving their legs in there for us, right? So obviously there is something to it. So, but yeah, it's good to see. I like to see. We'll see more of it, hopefully, and yeah, no, you can support your team how you want. I'm liking, like I said, I like what I saw. If Gabriel came in and he didn't look like he knew how to play football, then I would be concerned. But he looks like he knows what he's doing. So we're going to take that. And you know what? This is probably a question I say all the time, Craig. All the time. This is why we have players that we can't sell, because Arteta hasn't figured out how to use them in the best situation at our club. And I know we've got everybody that we're trying to sell, they actually have a talent. Whether you like it or not, they do have a talent. We just haven't figured out. Our team hasn't figured out how to use them. Yeah, so we'll take this win, and I will take it, and we'll let Mr. Tom go. Tom.
The reason you can't sell anyone is because you pay them far too much, and no one else is prepared to pay it.
Bingo.
That's the actual reason.
And Tom is 100%. Yeah, Tom is 100% correct in that, because I mean, just look at the Deadwood. I mean, we are a week and a half away from the season, and I'm looking at 8 players that should have been out that door as soon as we ended the season. I'd say it again, like I told y'all last week. there should have been a table set up at Camping World Stadium, and they should have said, "Come one, come all. We having a fire sale for MLS teams. Come through. We got you. 2 million here, 3 million there, 1 million here, 8 million there, and 12 million here, 10 there. Fire sale. Come one, come all. Black Friday at the Emirates, and we will come get what you need." Because we should have been selling those players, man. They should have got them boys out of here, man. The fact that we took Hector Bellerin on a trip to the United States. When
Academy players.
yeah. And then you had Tuera, who was here and left. I mean, why didn't we take some of those youngsters that, quote unquote, youth project players that's sitting over there that we could have used?
You don't understand how this thing works. I've been told that the reason why you take the veterans is because you want to show that they're healthy and ready to play, and then they'll be available for sale. That's why. That's what I've been told. But let Mr. Tom finish up his say. I know he got a couple words in, but yeah, I would have liked the youngsters to go, but that's not the way it works, I guess.
The actual thing that made me think that, what I initially said, was basically going to be the fact that you had to pay Willian and pay Aubameyang to get off the premises. Because no one was going to come in with bids based on what you already paid them. And there's probably a few other lads you've got there that are in the same boat. And they're all too happy to sit and wait out their contracts because they're not going to get a bigger contract elsewhere. Anyway, today, Walkers, we're going with the ready salted flavour, or what some would call plain, but actually has salt in it. And it's acceptable, or cromulent, as they say in The Simpsons. And let's
Watch that
go with that.
Watch that sodium intake, brother.
Don't worry. I'll counteract that with some sugary drinks. But, smells of salt, and that's all right. Also, today's movie of the week, I watched at the cinema, The Living Daylights from 1987, James Bond. It was all right. Yeah, there's worse and there's better, but that's all right. So Leeds' pre-season has gone bang average, really. Off the top of my head, 2 wins, a draw and a loss. The loss was only 1-0 to Villa from a penalty, and we saved a penalty in the game as well. So generally speaking, it could have gone, as said, a lot worse. Could have been Everton losing to a team in the MLS, but we didn't, because we are not managed by Frank Lampard. And that's life. We've sold one of our left backs to Ipswich I believe they're in League One, the 3rd tier, for about £1 million. Probably a big investment for them. And that's about it in the world of Leeds at the moment, to my knowledge. Now we're still looking at a player from Club Brugge called Charles de Ketelaar, but
he's very good, by the way.
He is very. I've heard he's a video game darling. Let's just say he's apparently so good on those video games that people know he is. But the situation as it stands is basically he wants to play for AC Milan, he wants to play for the Italian champions, and he wants to play in the Champions League, but with bid an amount of money that they can't afford. And the Club Brugge obviously want to take our bid instead of giving AC Milan a discount. So we'll have to see how that turns out.
So we know what happened. He'll come there, and then United will bid, and he'll be at United in 2 years.
And players now, well, if they see this happening, either they'll be not keen to take long contracts with these international teams, or they'll just run down their contracts like they do in the Premier League, right? And the teams will get absolutely nothing for them. So to each its own, I guess, right? It's fair play both ways. So, Mr. Tom, what else you got?
No, I do think he will go to AC Milan. I'm not hanging my hat on this. This is just one of the bigger Leeds transfer rumours lately, since everyone knows we've got a bit of money in our pocket. But Personally, I want players that want to play for Leeds United, not players that want to play for AC Milan, but AC Milan can't afford. So it's absurd that they can't afford him and we can. I mean, how does that happen? I mean, that as a scenario highlights the strength of the Premier League compared to everyone else. Because we shouldn't be able to outbid the team that finished 17th in one league. Shouldn't be able to do a larger bid for a player than the team that finished first in another. But that's football. That's modern football.
It's all about the money, and I guess the money, as you said, is in the Premier League. So there you go.
Mm.
You go where the money is. They will go where the money is.
And I do genuinely think that the trip. I think we should all commit to solving a crime. We need to solve a crime in football. We need to find out how Barcelona can owe Frankie de Jong 17 million, but then buy Rafinha. We need to work out how this is happening.
I know how it's happening. I know exactly how it's happening.
All right, just before you get to that thought, Matt, let me just go through the chat real quick. We have one of our regulars has joined us, but we will go through the chat real quick here, and I'll let you answer that question. And I know it sounds like Tony has an answer for that as well. Yeah, why not swap Pepe for Tielemans? Everybody can deal with a winger like Pepe, right? That's easy peasy. All right. Yeah, this is the other part to it. The Arsenal players who supposedly, Arteta has put his trust in once again. Once again, he puts trust and confidence in players, and they basically stab him in the back again. When will he learn? When will he learn? What does this one say? It's to put the players you don't want it. Hey, that never. When's the last time that's ever worked for Arsenal? Putting them in the shop window, fighting for their place. Guess what happens in all those scenarios? Absolutely nothing. Every time. When I'm done. Anytime I hear I'm fighting for my spot, that means he's done. Right? That's what Pepe's doing now. He's been here for how many years? Now he's fighting for his spot? Nah, not going to have it. In the shop window for Bellerin and Torreira, both their teams had success with them. Both their teams said, you know what, we're not going to pay for you. Nah, and that's on Arsenal. Of course, that's on Arsenal, the way they've done their business, and that's why teams don't want to pay. But that's what you got. Yeah, so nah. None of that works until they clean. That's why they have to clean shop for me. Get them out, and let's start over again. We actually heard Adu, and maybe we'll get into that, actually say he goes to management and tells them, guess what? I think we're going to have to just write this off. And he said that's a part of his ROI, statement there. What is that?
So before Matt solves the crime for me.
Yeah, I haven't got to. Let me finish this and I'll let you go. Let me go. I was going to go through the chats and I started rambling. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was going to say my personal hero is in the chat.
No, I know. I was going to get. Come on. That's why I was going through the chats.
Get to it, but I couldn't let you get to it before I acknowledged him as my personal hero. That's just that would just make me rude.
I hear you. And we got Skamaka is going to be going to the Hammers. Imagine that. Arsenal. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't too impressed with Skamaka, so I don't know. I just think a big, tall striker is what we need, whether or not he's at the levels. And even if he wasn't at the levels for us, guess what? If it didn't work out, I think we could sell him back to Italy. Or I think it's Italy where he is. So, and last but not least, we our friend Why Not is in the house. He has joined us. Hello, Why Not? Saying hello to the gang. Yeah, I think West Ham is realizing, you know what, they need depth, and two, if they can finish fourth, is it? Yeah, or is it fifth? The last time they didn't have international football, so they're hoping for the same again. Why Not is cycling home and listening to our show, I guess. How do you do that? How do you get in the chats and cycle home?
He's using voice to talk, man.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. It's actually looks like it's working. My wife does that, and it never spells out what she's saying. So, Director John has joined us. Welcome. Mr. Tom fan club is wherever Mr. Tom is. So I don't know where don't you know that? They just follow him around. So, Direct to John is in the house.
They've got good taste.
Yeah. Yeah, Pepe made
They've
some
got
bold
They've
statements.
got a
Yeah,
taste
but
for nonsense.
I don't believe any of it. There we go. Oh, yes, here's a quick warm-up from Why Not. Arteta Cronky out always. And we already went through the Christmas. Mr. Tony. Benjamin. Yeah, no, Dez is with me. Basically, set them into the U23s, right? Is what I heard. Eventually, they'll want to go and they will take a big enough pay cut that Arsenal will get some money for them. And Why Not is in the house. And the chips.
I bet when Why Not found out that Arsenal won 4-0, all I'm assuming it was he watched it, I bet he sat there and went, we should have scored 5.
We should have scored 4 in the first half, right? You think about it.
I've got a lot of love for Why Not. I'm allowed to mock him.
Or he's like me.
What's the word?
Scored 3 goals because one.
What happened?
What's that, Tony?
I mean, we only scored 3 goals because one was offsides. Maybe
Tony broadcasting live from 1946.
I know your audio is still doing that thing, Tony. I don't know what's going on. What shut down everything except for this tab?
I did. I'll leave and come back.
Maybe it's your Wi-Fi or something like that because it sounds like you start talking and then like a second later we hear you. But Matt has the answer of why Barcelona is able to buy all these players.
Brown envelope, my friend.
Oh, he's got a brown envelope. Ah.
The envelope, man, under the table, my friend.
Check I thought it was good. I thought he was going to say the envelope was his findings.
I know. I was looking for him to pull something out of it. Pull something out. What's in there? Come on, there's some papers and some answers.
There's nothing in there.
He thinks it's a brown paper bag.
That's this is the Tielemans fund right here. There's nothing in there.
Oh, all right. And Tony, how you think they do it? Let's see if Tony can get it right.
There's no one I can't drag into my nonsense.
There you go.
Let me speak, Tom.
Oh, you're on delay again. What is going on with this, Tony?
It might be his connection, man. Internet connection.
Yeah, it sounds like because it was working fine the last couple of times you've been on the show. So maybe it's just a Oklahoma thing.
Yeah, he's struggling tonight, man.
Oh, okay. So it looks like it's just Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too hot. Yeah, Tony, if you can hear us, it sounds like maybe reset your router, clear the cache, as they say, for those in the business. We'll get back to Tony in a second here. So I don't know. Oh, peep. I don't know what this means, but
Pepe says he's dedicated to Arsenal.
Oh yeah, no, whatever. I'm done. Yeah, he's doing it looks like the Bruce Lee movies of all time, old days. The Barker secret handshake. See, you got an envelope, and this man's got the handshake which looks a little suspect. What is this? Why Not says here?
I called it. Why Not? I called it. I knew it.
Yeah, see, look at that. Should have been 8.
I know my fans. I know them.
Yeah, let's see if I use it. Oh, the cattle prod to get the cows moving faster. So we shall see. Why not? I'm not going to put that out there because I'm not into that stuff. Bargav has joined us. Welcome to the show. Let's see if Tony works now. Bargav. Tony's been on a little delay.
Am I still on a delay?
Let's see. Go ahead, start talking again.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. We synced up.
It doesn't now look like one of those, what are they like? The Hong Kong action movies from the 70s and 80s.
How to move from a 5 gigahertz network to a 2.41. I don't know.
Oh, so there you go. So that's what it is. You're everybody's probably on the 5 in your area. So there you go. So do you have anything else you want to say? I think we were rambling here.
Nope. I'm good to move on.
All right. So anybody else have anything else to say about the game?
I'm good. Let's move on.
All right. So we have a couple ways we can go here. You guys let me know. Edu? Or just transfer news? Because there is some transfer news going on right now.
We can talk Edu because that'll probably be the meat and potatoes.
All right, so let's go. For those who haven't seen the interview, there has been a lot of talk today about Edu and his conversation and talk about Arsenal and what he saw when he I think when he actually got the reins, when he got the keys to where we are today.
Tom, you don't do it while the host is talking.
I know what's going on with that, dude. I pay you enough. I pay you enough in chips for you not to eat them while I'm on air.
It's the salt in them. They're moreish.
But you're eating them
consciously. I was consciously just grabbing more of them.
Oh, it's one of those things. Can't stop. I can't have just one, right?
I'm sorry. Right, I didn't realize where I was, all right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Put mine to the side, Tom.
There you go. So Edu did have his interview. I think I watched a couple of them. I read some of I can actually read back some of what he said, which was kind of interesting. Which I thought one of the first things I guess I'll go through some of his quotes and then we can discuss each one of them. One of the things that popped up that I did see first off is when asked about Arsenal and fighting for fourth place, he actually said, what do you say? I'm sorry, there's City, Liverpool, that's fine, I accept that, but you can't accept that. When you join this club, we can't accept that. Basically, he's not into this fourth is a trophy thing, at least the way he's communicating it to us now. For me, this sounds like a new Edu, because I remember, wasn't it last summer, the man said, I just want to see these guys kick a ball around on the pitch? I don't know. Now he's saying what I expected him to say in the first place, which was, we're here to fight for more than fourth place, right? I think a lot of the Arteta outs think Arsenal's all about just making do, keeping the money flowing, and Arteta outs want trophies. They want the big trophies. So, which everybody, I think every Arsenal fan wants the big trophies. Some are willing to wait, and some think we should be able to fight for them tomorrow. So, Matt, I'll let you go first on at least this first discussion point, where it looks like Edu is all about something more than fourth place.
Really damn sure better be about more than fourth place, man. Considering that display last year. I mean, anything less is unacceptable. Hell, I'm on about second place. We need to be challenging on all fronts. You hear me, Garrett? Tony and Tony, all
third's a minimum. Third's at least minimum.
Third is, for me, is we couldn't quite catch the other teams.
Yep.
That's where I'm at with that. Third means that we're in the running, but we couldn't quite catch the teams.
All right, Ben. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
So, I mean, what I would have asked Edu. This is why I really hate the Arsenal PR machine because they get these softball questions. I really hate that because I would have asked him, well, in that case, would you consider it a failure if we don't make it, top three? And like I said, third for me is we couldn't quite catch second place or first. Just couldn't get over the hump. Because this cup, this Carabao Cup, this Mickey Mouse Cup, everybody calls it, that's a cup that we should take serious this year. Mm-hmm. We should be taking starters out. Starters should be playing the Mickey Mouse Cup. Anytime a trophy is on the line, we should be at full strength. I don't want to see this false nine stuff. I want to see us challenging on all fronts. Anything less, Gary, is unacceptable, and the manager needs to go if that's the case. Y'all know how I feel about Arteta, but I'm willing to sit here because I'm going to watch this season. You can best believe I'm watching like a hawk because the way we ended last season would have got anybody else fired. Now, I don't want to hear this about, well, he needs time. He spent $500 million. $500 million on players. and we've got 40 to 60 billion just sitting out on the bench. So he spent his money on his players, his philosophy, the Man City whisperer. He said, I saw last week, Gary, players said that Arteta came in and had the pull. Okay, I've been hearing that. He's got the pull. Okay, well, damn it, show me the pull. Show me what you can do. Somebody said, BX said, Europa a bust. Absolutely. Absolutely. We should win so much, Gary, that if we win Europa League, because we're so far at the totem pole, it would help somebody else get in. That's where we should be at.
That'd be cool. We shall see. We shall see. I'll let Mr. Tom. I'll let Tony first go, and then I'll let Mr. Tom.
No problem.
All right, Tony.
I would have asked Edu why his goal was only 6th last season when the season before is 4th. At January, you're setting at 4th. How would signing any player, somebody like Bruno Guimaraes, who we could have signed, who signed with Newcastle? People can't tell me there wasn't players available, because there was. He's a good example of it. Would have definitely helped us in the midfield, dealt with Partey's injury. But I would have asked him, what player would have so derailed your plans of finishing 6th or even above, getting 4th place, if you signed a few players? It makes no sense to me how they thought that would derail their plans for the club by signing a few players in the winter window. Instead, you sell Chambers, which was a utility player. You had Niles go out on loan as you didn't use him all season. Another utility player. Could have helped with the fullback injuries. Could have helped with the Partey injury, because both of them could have helped out there too. But to me, there's a lot for him to answer for. Like Matt said, it's all about Arsenal's PR team, PR machine. You really don't get to hear the real questions asked and answered that you want to hear. You just get kind of this, oh, did you target Paqueta? No, we didn't target Paqueta, whatever. I mean, that's about the most you get out of it. Nothing exciting, nothing you really want to know. So I can pretty much care less, because I know it's just PR speak. Every time I do or Teta speaks, it's, to me, mostly 50 to 70% bullshit. But it is what it is. And that's pretty much my thoughts.
Cool. I know that's related to the thing I said, or basically what you thought Arteta should have said. And yeah, Des.
Both, Gary.
Both. All right, cool. And Des, yeah, this is definitely a problem. Just set us back a window. Not doing anything in January in terms of incoming definitely set us back. And why not is peddling somewhere out there, listening to our show, screaming Arteta out to the passers-by. Yeah, that is crazy that we have not put a bid in for a Paqueta, but maybe they're just not ready, or that's not the one. So, Mr. Tom, I'll let you go. I don't know if you want to talk about the conversation that Edu, the first statement that I had there, Edu had with the interviewer, or where you want to go with this.
Edu had an interview. Wait, what? What are we talking about?
Just talk.
What, something happened? Oh, no. I did see Edu had been quoted on something about Rafinha, where he basically said he didn't actually think he had any chance of landing him, because the conversations he had basically were, he was directly told, if I don't leave for Barcelona, I'll just stay at Leeds. Which, well, I found quite... I was about to say surprising. It's not, because I actually speculated that multiple times.
Why do you keep bidding for him? That makes no sense. Why do you keep bidding for a player who knows not to come to you?
PR.
Yeah, I was going to say it was so you could look like you were in for him, but also, to be fair to him, no one thought Barcelona were going to find the money that we would accept. So it weren't unreasonable at a certain point in the summer. It wasn't unreasonable to think that you could have landed the player, because you didn't know, like as fans, you didn't know that he only wanted to play for Barcelona or Leeds United, which is a weird sentence I didn't think I'd ever say. But it became more apparent that you were wasting your time. But so were Chelsea, and they had a bid accepted. We wanted to accept Chelsea's offer by all accounts, but I didn't want to accept Chelsea's offer. I would have rather shat in my hands and clapped than sold him to Chelsea, if I'm being honest. But I hate Chelsea. I hate Chelsea so much.
Do you not like them?
I hate Chelsea. I hate Tottenham. I hate Man United. Arsenal.
But you hate Man United most, right?
I hate Man United. Man City are all right as well, which historically they weren't, but they've become like the lesser of the evils of all the big money clubs. I don't like Liverpool.
What about Newcastle?
I hate Villa. I don't like Villa.
What about Newcastle?
West Ham are my local team, so they can fuck off. And Newcastle. It'd be easier for me to name your football clubs I didn't hate.
And that's probably one of them is Leeds, probably, right?
Yeah. I don't think Swindon's done anything to me that I could. Swindon in League, I think they're in League One now. I'm not sure. Yeah. I haven't been keeping up with them.
What about Millwall?
Millwall can fuck off. We've loaned Millwall 2 of our players, Cresswell and there's another one we loaned. It's gone out of my head. Shackleton, I think. But yeah, so for some reason we're trying to help Millwall get into the Premier League, which I think should be a crime. No one wants them in the Premier League. The police definitely don't want them in the Premier League. They're like us, but worse. Does it annoy?
All right, I'm gonna take over for just a second here. You guys are talking about the Rafinha deal, and for me, I get wasting our time. I don't think we wasted our time as much as we did the first time we did something like this. And also, if we did put in bids and they weren't accepted, it sounded like to me once we hit our limit, we stepped out. That's what it seemed like to me. Come to find, they probably found out, they probably said, all right, he wants to go to Barcelona, so be it. But we'll put a bid in anyway, just in case. And like everybody said, Barcelona probably didn't have the money. Wasn't going to be able to register him. All these things were I guess it wasn't register, probably not a register, but just, we're going to have the money for him, right? So
for me, I think wasted your time once they had the money. Once Barcelona were able to get a reasonable amount on the table, then did it become we probably should look at other people. But when it first came out that you were in for him, you were well within your rights to try and get the player.
And you know what? If we didn't take that chance, people would be complaining that we didn't even take a look in and see if it was possible.
Yep.
We took a look in. If we put a bid down, who knows now? But it looks like we did our due diligence, I believe. And it just wasn't going to happen. And it's happened to many a team since. So obviously playing in the Premier League does not have the big draw as we once thought. All right. And I think right now it seems like they're happy to leave, all right, and go somewhere else. So we shall see how that all goes. Are you guys enjoying this Edu interview? It doesn't sound like it.
Brother, this thing, man. I'm at a stage now, Gary.
We're all sitting here eating snack food.
I'm at a stage with this team, Gary, where the talking it's enough talking. It's enough talking. We're 2 weeks away from the season. Deadwood is in the team.
How do we still have so much Deadwood after selling them off in 4 windows?
Tony, that is the $1 million question, because I don't see the sense. We are carrying around players. We could have bought 2, 3, 4, 5 different players in some of those positions. What I'm afraid, just going to be quite frank with y'all, what I'm afraid of is that we're not going to move these players. And these players are going to be right there at a pivotal point of the season. Because we already know. It's like I told y'all. We know Arsenal's injury record. And we watched that first game. We watched some of these shines. We watched them out there. And you saw it. You saw it just like I saw it. That's what we have. That's the backups. That's not adequate, man. That's like going into war with just a pipe. Brother, we are done if something happens to Gabriel. Because I'm here to tell y'all, and I'm sorry if I'm the bearer of bad news. Nketiah is not getting us over the hill. I'm sorry.
We're gonna look like the bad new bears if he's out there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I watched that in preseason. That's not a point that's not being brought up, Gary. People are not bringing up that how he looked when it was him isolated by himself. And I told people, I said, look, man, this guy, Gabriel, gets hurt. We are back at square one. We don't have a player. I've been on my head about finding a player like Ivan Toney or somebody that can come in and hold up, man. We just heard Skamaka is going to West Ham. Hold up, man. This is what you compliment a player like Gabriel with, a hold up, man. I'm hearing talk about Leroy Sané. Man, come on, man. We need to stop. Arsenal fans need to stop. Leroy Sané is not coming to Arsenal. He'll go to Spain somewhere and play on a team that's in the Europa League or so. He'll play. He won't come to Arsenal. He won't come to Arsenal. That just needs to be thrown out people's head. But what we could have done, Gary, is that we could have used the early part of May and June to identify some good French players that could come in, your veterans, to come in and steady the ship.
Ones you could have got on free and signed then.
Yeah.
Sign a pre-contract with.
Tony, I'm hearing all this talk about Paqueta and all this stuff. Who's to say you couldn't go in with a bid for James Madison?
Yep.
I mean, why do we? It's like you said earlier, Gary. You alluded to it. Why do players, not players, but why does Arteta? He puts his faith in these players, and they consistently let him down. I mean, he has stood up for Bellerin, took him into his house, gave him hot dogs and cupcakes and chips, and look at this mess we in with him. We're literally y'all do understand we're going to have to give him away, right?
More than likely.
Yeah. Well, see, Jesus was in a different situation, man. Most of those teams, Barcelona didn't need a striker. He's not going to West Ham. He didn't want to go to Chelsea. AC Milan is set. Inter Milan is set. Juventus is set. Real Madrid is set. So, I mean, realistically, Arsenal was his best option. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm actually glad the guy came because that proved to me that he actually want to be here. And that's another thing that needs to be touched on, is that we need to start going after players that want to play for Arsenal. Yeah, and somebody said, I'd take Giroud back. Yeah, Giroud's problem was you need two pacey strikers to play off him. Too many people want Giroud to be the pacey striker. And that would just be, I knew that was happening in a monkey in a red suit.
With all our crosses, he'd be great. He had 20 headers for us. He'd be the perfect guy.
This is why, Tony, I keep going on about a hold-up man.
Yep.
And somebody challenged me last week when I said that we were not scoring goals from corner kicks. That's one of our biggest weaknesses. This is why Saliba looks so good. He can clip balls out with his head. We need guys that can hit the ball. I want y'all to go back and watch some of that footage and look how weak we look up against big, strong defenders. Weak. You've got to have a hold-up man. When it's 29 degrees outside and we're in the dead of November, That's what's going to get you over the line. Out there playing in 98-degree weather down in Orlando, Florida, in sunshine with drink breaks is not going to cut it later on down the line.
I hear you. I hear you. But if you're looking at, the two top teams in league, I don't consider they don't have these big strikers that we keep saying that we need, though, right?
Man City.
They don't have a big striker, the big tall striker.
He's 6'2", 6'3".
Holland, no, they didn't before. Now they do.
Yeah, but see, what they're going out.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. You can't. No, wait a second. Before we, today they do.
Is Eddie and
But they've been winning trophies without it. And now are you telling me because City and Liverpool now have big men in the middle that the entire system has changed? If you don't have one, you don't win. I don't believe so. I just think they just had an opportunity to go out there and get a big player to play in the middle of their middle of their front line, more than you cannot win that way. Not saying that we don't have holes. We definitely have holes. We definitely would like to have a better number 2 or a number 1 that pushes Jesus out wide, right? But it's doable without. I know we still have holes, and that's the problem. No matter what we do, until we get another striker, a better striker, a more seasoned striker, one with experience, we're going to be in trouble, right?
You're worried about the way Jesus plays, diving into those tackles.
He's not diving into those tackles. You see him trying to run away from the defender who's chasing him down and leaving a leg in. Come on, he's not diving into tackles. I just was watching the replay today, and he makes it. He passes out wide, and the defender sticks his leg out.
Is he on the ground too much?
So he is definitely on the ground too much, but he's not like sitting there rolling around because he's running into players. No, they're putting a leg into him, and he needs to figure that thing out. All right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're seeing the revival of the hold-up striker. Yeah. I'm telling you that you're seeing the revival of it.
There aren't that many. So think about it. There's only Harlan is like the best one. Who's the next one close to him that's available?
If you count on teams in the league that has a big tall striker, you got 3 now. You got West Ham. You got 2 over at West Ham. You got 2. That's what's gonna make that interesting, because with David, you know what David Moyes getting ready to do. He's going back to Everton over the top. He's going over the top, set pieces, 1-0, 2-1, get out of Dodge. That's what he's working on. I already know what he's doing. You got Darwin Nunez, who's the jury's still out on him, by the way. Then you got Holland.
Right, Tony. Tony's got to step out for a bit. I believe he'll be right back.
Yeah, but so I mean, you got big strikers, man. It's coming back. I'm telling folks, man, the day of these small strikers, man, it's starting, because the game is so physical now. It's going. It was a period there where if you breathe on a play, he fall over. Now the Premier League is just physical, man. You got these massive defenders. Massive. Exactly. Not enough goals. You need a hold-up man that can give you 12 to 14 goals, man. You got to find him. I'm telling you, that's going to be our undoing this year. Gary, I'm telling you, because Nketiah is not the answer. I didn't say he was a horrible player. I say he's not the answer. And too many Arsenal fans are trying to make Nketiah out to be the answer. He's not the answer. His job is to come in, compliment, get what he can get, and that's it. But people are looking for Nketiah to score 18. I've heard somebody say I saw a guy say it last week. 22 goals. Where? Where are these 22 goals?
No. You know what? No. Matt, those people are just poking the bear. We'll be lucky to get 10 from him, and you know what? Whatever we get from him, if we get 4 from him, that'll be more than, along with Jesus, that'll be more than we got last season.
Gary, I'm telling you, when it gets down, the muck gets down to the mire. or it's the phrase around my parts go, when it's in the mud, who's gonna pull it out? And I'm telling you that when our team, this is why Saliba stands out so well, is because he's physical. He's a physical defender that can get the job done. We hadn't had a physical. See, this is for years, Arsenal was physical and could move people around if they needed to. But then we adopted a different philosophy, and we went to finesse and champagne, and people knew how to beat us. And the Boltons of the world, because you start watching in 2012, I can tell you the Boltons of the world, the Middlesbrough, those teams, we'd go to play these teams and we get mugged off. The Stokes. I'm telling you, if you want to challenge Liverpool and Man City, we're going to have to get physical. We're going to have to get physical. And I'm talking Olivia Newton-John. We're going to have to get physical.
And with that, Mr. Tom, physical.
Matt touched on a good point, because I saw an interview years ago, but it applied for years before it and years after it, where Troy Deeney, primarily of Watford, used to say that he loved playing Arsenal. He specifically named Arsenal. So he loved playing against Arsenal because he just used to turn to his teammates and go, we can bully them. They are 10 times better than us, but we can beat them because we'll just bully them off the ball, bully them on corners, and get because ultimately you just need goals. And they'd bully goals out of you.
He's right, man. He's right.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that Edu did say, he said he needs a little bit more of that fire. Basically, he needs a little bit more of that roughness, toughness that's required in the league. I mean, he's saying it, but as you know, we haven't actually brought in any player. I mean, Saliba was coming back, but we haven't actually gone out and got a player who can do that. And let me say a little bit. I've always looked at the teams at the bottom of the table and said, I'll take that guy. I'll take that guy. I'll take that guy. Because they all have, like you said, they all have that toughness in them. Like, you know what, you make a misstep and you run into an elbow by mistake, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's what Arsenal's missing, some of that when we talk about what we talk about Vieira, we talk about toughness, right? In the middle of the pitch, right? And
that right there, Gary, has not been replaced since 2005. Yeah. You know, Tom. I was on the panel a while back, and I told folks, I said, when I grew up, I'm from the old school. Players like Gattuso. You had hard men that there's no way in hell you would go over there to that side of the pitch and not expect to get turned over.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I said this is why Saliba has been a revelation to so many players, because it's a defender. We have not had a really physical defender. Now, some people might say Thomas Vermaelen before he got that injury, but we hadn't really had somebody to just turn people over. We hadn't had strikers. You see, when TT played, Thierry Henry played, he was tall, he was physical, and he could just really do what he needed to get done. I.e. the example against Spurs. I mean, when you have those kind of strikers, it turns games. This is why I said we've got to have someone. Because I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna come back to this, and y'all say Matt was right again. If we turn around and there's a long-term injury to Gabriel Jesus, we will rue the day that we did not go out and get a strong physical striker. This is why that year when Balogun just rotted on the bench, I told you then, it was 2 years ago, I said he should have been out on loan. This is the problem I have when it comes to properly getting players acclimated, getting ready to play. He should have been out on loan, so that in case we needed him. Because right now, if we were to bring him in, he's naked, man. He needs to go out on another loan. So that's another player out the door.
No, for sure. Balogun, I'm with you on Balogun needed to go out. He definitely, when that whole thing went about, and if they were going to sign him, it should have been, here you go, and you're going out on loan, and we'll see you in a year. But yeah, no, I hear you. But like, Look at the names of some of the players that we're trying to get. I don't know if they answer that question for you in terms of
I think if we get
being guys, big guys in the middle. Let me get Tom to finish up. I know he was talking, Matt, there. So,
No, it was fine. I was just going to say it's not. It weren't just Watford though. There were games you lost over the years. Teams lose football matches over the years.
Yeah.
All teams lose football matches, but there were some that I specifically remember. Like I think you lost to West Brom in a game where you conceded 3 goals from corners, and you should never lose to West Brom. But the fact is, they picked you off in the one area of the pitch that they were always going to beat you in, because you don't have to be more skillful than a team to score goals from corners.
Yeah, I mean, Burnley did
You
that.
have to
Burnley
be
did
more
that
physical.
to us. Yeah, Burnley did that to us 2 years ago. We got 1 point from them. This year, the next year we did better, but that year they just beat us. Beat us pretty soundly, and we got the 1 point from them. I think we're lucky to get the 1 point. But yeah, no, I mean, we definitely. You either need to be, as far as I'm concerned, you either need to be able to handle it, or you need to be able to make people look silly, right? And the only way you can make people look silly is if you've got the talent and you got the know-how. And like I said, I think for me, as much as Jesus has been a revelation, if we can't keep Partey healthy, it doesn't matter who we have up top. For me, right now, I don't think we'll be in the same situation once again if Partey goes out. And based on where he's been the last couple of years, he probably will go out. We don't have a true answer behind him or beside him, right now. And that's, for me, I enjoy seeing Partey when he's healthy, because I know the middle of the pitch is sound. We can go to the middle to get that ball outletted to whoever needs it, right? Because he's clean with the ball when he's good, right? He'll make the occasional bad pass, but most of the time, you just give him the ball, he'll be fine with it. And you saw that. I was watching. Started watching that first half again, and ball goes into him. He looks up field, which he might be the only one that does that. From that deep in the on the pitch, he looks straight up the side, not out wide all the time. He'll go through the middle and make a pass out, to Erdogan or to whoever is available. And we're gonna miss that if he's got down again. So as much as Jesus is really good for us up top, no Partey, and we're in trouble. We're in trouble there, because they're just gonna be able to manage the middle like they've done in the past in most teams, and we're in trouble. So yeah, I hear you. We might have Tony might be back with us. We'll see here. So that was, I think we're done with the Edu talk. There was one thing I think I wanted to bring up as well, because we're at like 70 minutes here, almost 75 minutes here.
That time flew, bro.
Time went really fast. Just chatting about a couple of things, right? Just chatting about a couple of things. Let me see here. Now we just talked about. We pretty much talked about all the transfers. I think the one thing that you were talking, Matt, about certain players. Like right now, the way that we played, our starting 11 was fine, right? And to me, it's just we need to bring in 2 players, but it looks like we need to bring in 3, right? Because Emil Sufro, Tierney, Tomiyasu, Vieira, right now are not available, and that's not good, because we're pretty deep if we're healthy, right?
Yeah.
Those are 4 players right there. That's 15 solid players that can contribute to us. And then if you add on Marcanos, if he gives us anything, I think we'll be. He's looked better than I thought he would. I mean, it's surprising. He's the youngest player we got on our pitch that's going to contribute to us right now. Could be another Saka if we look. If it works out for us, that would be nice. And then after that, you just have Holding and Sambi. I think Tavares is definitely seems like he's on his way out, which is probably good for him because he needs it. He needs more time in the field under a team that can probably give him better instruction.
Yeah, BX is right, man. We need a midfielder and a right
option to buy. It sounds like.
Yeah. So as BX said here, we could do with a midfield. I mean, I think an additional attack would be nice, but I think the midfield and the right back for me are critical. Cedric isn't going to be the man for me. long term. Not if Tomiyasu's out. We need a solid backup behind him. Another
Just
midfield.
White.
I think.
If we have to.
Now, here's the thing, right? You were talking. We know we need either a CDM or another player similar to Aparte, be it like on the cusp of maybe his career going in one way or in the positive direction. So that would be nice. I think we tried to do that maybe, but just hasn't worked out for us. So
It's what if Zinchenko could work in that role?
Zinchenko, is he no? But I mean, is he going to be able to, for example, replace Aparte?
But passing, just rather he can do
I mean,
other parts. I think he probably can.
that's a legitimate question because see, this is I want people to understand that Arsenal. I saw somebody in the chat earlier was talking about if, and I was like, well, you know what? I just know our injury record. I'm a veteran of it. I've seen it for so long, man. That, we know people come to Arsenal with no injuries and get the crazy. I mean, look at Tomiyasu. There was you heard nothing
Several
about him.
muscle injuries.
Yeah. You hadn't heard anything about major injuries about this guy. Now look at him. This is why I said we've got to have quality backups in every position. Even if it's getting guys on loan, for a year or whatever. I mean, there's no right back. Yeah, but he's going to have to find somebody because it is tough days, man. Because,
well, here's the thing, though, right? If we don't find a right back, does it make sense us go with this 4-3-3?
I mean,
to maybe go with 3 at the back and play it that way.
You can do it because you can move Ben White over there.
Yeah, we can do. See, for me, that now once again, then I guess either way we're weakening somewhere because you put Ben White out there, then now you may not have a solid backup for center back, and then if you do lose one of the Gabriela Saliba, right? Is it holding? Probably not, right? You probably want to move White back inside
I think even if you do a back, and even though Tierney can play a left center back and a back.
Who's that?
The left center back of Tierney.
Well, that's why it's imperative that those guys are healthy, or else we still need to fill some holes. That's the problem. They're not healthy right now. As of today, we're down 4 players because of injuries. At least I believe. I believe Milsif Rowe is out because of an injury, but the other 3 definitely are.
We have is in Chico. If you even want to consider him really a fullback. Everybody wing backs. The starting fullbacks are hurt, so we definitely need that.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound like we're that good at.
Well, no, it sounds like that's what they're saying. We'll see if they actually go out and do it. But for me, whatever holes they can fill in the squad, they need to just do that. I think Tielemans should have been done yesterday, based on where we are today. Just fill that midfield with even more quality players, and hopefully Arteta can figure that out, regardless of who's starting.
I think you and Leicester are playing a game of chicken because I think they think that you are going to get desperate nearer the end of the window and you'll pay more, and you're hoping that they think you won't pay it, so then they reduce the offer or go more to what you want.
I don't understand how Vieira is worth 35, and if my understanding is right, we don't want to pay 35 for Tielemans, or is it 45 that they want? I don't remember if that's the number.
30. I think 35 is what they want.
If you can pay 32, I think it's 32 for Vieira. If you can pay 32 for Vieira, who for me right now is an unknown quantity in Premier League football, Tielemans for 35, a starter in the league, a man who's won a trophy for his team on his foot. Right? Is it right?
I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but I'm guessing Vieira is significantly younger, and you probably bought him when he wasn't in his last year of his contract.
It doesn't matter. We need players. We need starters. We need like that's why when I look at it,
No, I'm
we
not
need,
answering that. I'm just saying why he was 30. That's it.
yeah. And you know what? Who's saying we're developing players? What player are we developing that we brought in? At this point, Tavage is not ready, so that was a waste. All right, Sambi definitely was not going to replace. He's not going to replace Partey, and that was kind of what they tried to do. Right? He's not there yet. He can't replace Partey. So that was not if that was the reason why they got him, bad move. So Partey sits there with nobody behind him, not good for us. Right? What if we get a really bad, I don't know, a bad cup tie, right? We're going to play our big players and then, we can't even rest the Partey. He can't play all those games.
Yeah, going back to the game on Saturday, everybody's talking about how great, but then you look at the bench and there's nobody there. Have mostly have fifth with Tomiyasu and Tierney coming back. That's not enough, especially if they're competition, which it sounds like they want.
This is a January window, or this is a January window again. We're sitting here, 4 players. We don't know if they will be available. We still have holes to fill. We have money to spend according to what the Arteta and Adu, and we haven't made any purchases, and we're going to take the risk that those 4 players will come back healthy.
Gary, I'm telling y'all, there's gonna be no excuses this season. Mm-hmm. None. The money's there.
Yeah, this guy Norton Cuffy. If you can bring in Walters and get that out of him, then what can you get out of a Euro 19 champion? Right? And he's got something about him. So I think I believe he might be further ahead than Walters. And
man, you can go up there. If this is the case, then go ahead and pay the 14 for Arthur Melo or whatever, and just move on. Go and tell them, hey, buddy, you're going to have to come off the bench, and just go get some of these veterans, man, and just bring them in.
Melo any better than
you guys are funny.
Is Arthur any better than Zaka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Mertesacker done?
We're coming up on 9:00, brother.
We are coming up. It has been almost. Yeah, we're gonna go through our exits, and Mr. Tom, I'll let you have your say first here. And so here we go. Okay. So just like I said, we're gonna head out of here. So say what you got to say, and where people can find you.
Yeah, to Des, who asked if I'm on Facebook, my answer, I'm not sure it came up on the thing because I think the filters or whatever. But I don't generally use Facebook, but I can be found on Twitter at Mr. Tom28, I believe it is. But it's written on the screen somewhere, and I do answer my tweets because I even tweet back to Tony of all people. If I'll tweet back to Tony, I'll talk to anyone, surely. Anyway, so, the trivia question of the week. Not included Saturday, because... Anyway. Okay. Who was Javier Mascherano's first game in senior football for? That is the same Javier Mascherano who ended up playing for Liverpool, and I think he played for Barcelona. Who did he play his first senior appearance for?
He's Argentina, right?
He is. Who was his first senior appearance for?
I'm gonna go Newell's.
Oh, Bielsa's team. That's a good answer, but unfortunately, sir, it's not correct.
I have no clue.
Anyone in the chat with an idea? Or BX went along the same lines as you.
Yeah, he's not a Boca product, is
he? Sorry, sir?
He's not a Boca project, is he? He didn't come out of Boca, did he?
He did not.
Okay, I only two I could think of that from over
River
there.
Plate's the only one I can think of.
Oh yeah, River Plate. That's the other one.
Okay, are we all chat? Are we? Have you got any ideas? Are we ready for the answer? You're gonna love this.
Answer.
You are going to love it. 10 seconds, chat.
No. Drum roll, please.
All right, we got.
The answer is Argentina.
Oh yeah, that's right. He went straight into the national team.
He played for Argentina before he actually played for River Plate.
River Plate, yeah.
Because the player in his position at River Plate was basically like the lifetime club captain who he could not displace, but his performances in the Argentina youth setup convinced them, yeah, we should actually play this lad.
Who was the captain?
And they did.
Who was the captain? That had to be what's his name? What's the guy's name? He's really good too. Man, he used to score all the free kicks for him. He was kind of polarizing. Oh man, what's the guy?
Do I get partial points there, Tom?
He played for River Plate. I know that much.
How
do you get partial for not the right answer?
He did say River Plate. So it was technically his first club, but he never played for him before he played for Argentina. So Tony can have 17% of the points.
All right, there we go.
For.
All right, Mr. Tom. Let every
So
people.
I'm
let
gonna
people know.
I'm gonna find that name for Matt because I had it. 1 second. I had it. It was a player called Leonardo Estrada, nicknamed the Chief.
Okay, no, that was who I thought.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd never heard of him, but yeah, it was in July 2003, incidentally. So,
okay, yeah, no, that was way before.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, Imar actually played for Valencia at that time, I believe. Just wanted to point that out. Just wanted to show off a bit that I knew that was. Sorry. Yeah. So thank you again, everyone, for graciously accepting me into your Arsenal/footballing community. And I say accepting, I'd come in anyway, even if I wasn't accepted, because I'm stubborn like that. Anyway, so yeah, but seriously, thank you, everyone. It's very kind of you. Thank you for supporting the comment section. And I'd be the best host. I'd be the best host for your trivia hour, Director John. You bloody well know it. Anyway,
Flavor of a crisp.
no one would get any of the questions right, though. Let's be fair. Everyone would score 0. Anyway, yeah. So thank you to the panel, Matt, Gary, and the other guy.
Who are we sponsored by this week, Tom?
All right, you done
So-
before we? What?
Oh,
we're
yeah,
trying to
I'll
get out of here, Tony.
Talk about his crisp.
Yeah, I'll still be going at 6 a.m. Yeah. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right,
Hi, Tom.
Tony. What do you want? You want to talk now? Now you can have your say.
I don't have pretty much to say. Plenty of work to do. There should have been gone right when their contract expired at the end of June.
You might as well
Still
just
here?
do this while you talk, so we know what mode you're in.
I'm in robot mode, apparently. Anyway, still plenty of business to do. We need 8 players out. Probably get 4 players out. Probably 2 players in. But like I said, like Matt said, there are no excuses. Right now we're at 70 million in 2 summer windows. It'd probably be 320 million when it's all more. £500 million, as Matt said, of windows there. And there's no excuses of it if it doesn't work, because he's already signed all these players, a lot of the Deadwood players. We shouldn't have signed a 4 years deal. Why did we give Mari 4-year deal? Rob Holding, 4-year deal. Every defender got a 4-year deal. Still worried about Saliba getting stolen since Marseille's president's there with Saliba's agents tonight. That's kind of interesting. So they have the offer to him. They have concrete starting position. Like Arteta can say, we might play you. But Marseille can say. But overall, okay. To seeing the young lads. That's why I always wanted to watch for preseason. See if Academy until they disappear out on loan. Under 23s where you really don't. It's kind of disappointing. It's going to be disappointing during the season because you have space on the team for those players to be on there because we got all this deadwood. Having a Carabao Cup, early rounds of Europa, seeing the young when we're playing in New Jerusalem, as Matt says. Not sure where New Jerusalem. We'll find that out later. But overall, not done enough. Plenty of work to do. The dude needs to get done with his barbecues.
All right, and we'll let Matt go, and then I'll get my last say, and we'll get out of here.
All right, I have an announcement to make. Everyone. I am going to be hosting a show on my channel. You can see it right here, at the Southern Gooner. So make sure you go subscribe because I have got a very special guest on this Wednesday, 2:30 Eastern. I will be having the man Jez Collins will be on with me, and we'll be talking about where did it go wrong for Arsenal and can we get this club back to greatness. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. 2:30 Eastern time, Southern Gooner. Make sure you subscribe so you can get that notification. And I also want to say thanks to Gary. Numbers are starting to go up.
Now
Gary,
you got 22 subscribers.
appreciate it, brother. And so we're trying to get those numbers up. So y'all come on over, check us out. Always enjoy Monday nights with these guys. Gary's hard-working man. I'm gonna start calling Gary the hardest working man because every time I look up, he's on somebody's channel. And Tom and Tony, I see y'all be rolling. So it's always good to see y'all guys, man. And that's pretty much about it, man. Just keep it going. We got a lot of work to do, man. Y'all taper your, slow it down. I know we won 4-0, but let's put things in perspective. We still got a lot of stuff to get done. So
Cool. So as you said, you got your channel up, you got a video out, and you got a show coming up on Wednesday. So everybody check that out. See Matt and Jez talking about Arsenal. It's going to be a really upbeat one, all positive. Arteta in and all of that.
yeah, you can definitely believe that.
Arteta in for this week.
It's going to be a little something.
Yeah, and you talking about all the gas, boy. You talking about fire, boy. Yeah.
Cool. So welcome once again, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's been great. We're going to do this again next Monday. Saturday we'll be chatting again. I don't know when our game is on Saturday. If it's before or after, because it is in the UK. So maybe it'll be going on during. I don't know what is it a late game? Anybody know?
I'll have to look it up now. I got you.
So yeah, see when the time of that game is because it'd be kind of cool. Maybe we can do. Maybe
7:30, man. We got an early 7:30 call, man. 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, so early in the morning, and then we'll be able to chat about it afterwards. So
just say the channel is the Southern Gooner.
That is correct.
Cool. So the Southern Gooner, everybody check it out.
Because
Matt will be there. He'll be saying and talking his stuff. And
subscribe with the notification bell.
Awesome.
Definitely. And Why Not is impressed. If Why Not likes it, then everybody's gonna like it.
Yeah, we keeping it real over there, man.
There you go. So everybody, like I said, we'll be back on Monday, same time, probably chatting about the game on Saturday. We'll see how we do. I expect low key, nothing big. If Jesus is in Cottonwall, I'll take it. I don't think I need to see what he can do anymore. It's not worth him being. Let the man rest. He's good to go. Hopefully, we're bringing in somebody before the end of this week. That'd be really nice to be talking about bringing somebody in, or 2 or 3, because I think we need to do that. Players going out, I have a feeling it's just going to be a write-off. So why not just get them out of the door? We need to move on. So once again, we'll do this again. I'll talk to you then. Thank you for everybody who joined us. I think there was a comment from from someone who just showed up late, at least from what I saw late into the show. Old Slice there agrees with us trying to solidify that middle. And Pepe, for me, Pepe's done. He's had his time, and now he wants to play. I don't like that. It's too late, man. It's too late. Let it go. Let it go. All right, everyone. So like I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. And we're out.